It's just one of those nights. You have those nights where you can't get anything going. We were turning the ball over like crazy. We finished with 20 turnovers, and we just could not get a rhythm. So it's just a feel of the game. A feel for the game, the flow, how your team is playing. Decided to pull our guys early in that fourth quarter, really to get some other guys some minutes and see if they could get anything going. And didn't happen, so we just left our guys on the bench. It's not that we have come from behind a lot, but that's not how we want to play. It was an unfortunate situation where we just played a bad game, our last game against Milwaukee, and you're going to have nights like that.
Great. Next question from Sarah.
Hey, Nate. After such a long time on the road, how good has it been for this team to be able to kind of regroup on home territory and get back home?
We really kind of forgot about that, that we were on the road, and we started this playoff series against Milwaukee on the road, because we had come from Philadelphia and, won a game 7 and, just really was focused on winning that series. And then all of a sudden we are rushed into the start of another series, and we get the first game, and we play a poor second game, but you realize after that you've been on the road for 7-8 days, and you've come through a grueling seventh game series with Philadelphia. You get the first game in Milwaukee. Have an opportunity to get the second one. You don't do that. So, we're disappointed, but that was a good road trip. You get 2 out of 3, and now you come home and try to defend home court. So we really didn't think about it because we was just so locked into that series.
All right, Sherrod.
Yeah, Coach. One of the things that Trey has been really good about is keeping defenses off balance with his floating game and also the lob. As someone who's played that position, what's the key to being effective in that moment, making that split-second decision to either just look for the floater or just lob it to John or Clint? What's the key as a playmaker, making that split-second decision and making it right?
He just has to be aware of where his guys are at, what the defense is doing. And a lot of times teams are making adjustments during the course of the game. Milwaukee came out very aggressive last game where they were picking up a little higher. They weren't sitting in that deep drop with Lopez. They just brought everybody up. And we didn't really do a good job of recognizing what their defense was doing. They adjusted how they played, but we didn't adjust to the reads that they were giving us. And that was all of our guards. It wasn't just Trey, but, again, 20 turnovers, you're not executing. So, you have to make those adjustments. We've had the opportunity to look at that on film, and, but Milwaukee will be adjusting according to the game, how the game's played, whether they are sitting back or being more aggressive. And those guys have to make those reads out on the floor.
Jeff Logan.
Nate, you answered a little bit of that in that answer right there. How much of especially with Trey's turnovers, were forced versus unforced, and how did you feel coming out of any kind of film conversation you had with Trey about his ability to, at least reduce the part that were unforced turnovers?
Trey's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. We just had some bad turnovers. Some of those we were just throwing them to the defense. They did a good job of being more aggressive in their pick and roll coverage. And, we had one of those nights. I just look at it as one of those nights where we didn't get a rhythm. And Trey's going to be fine. The defense that they were playing, he's seen it before. And but we didn't really do a good job of getting into a flow, getting that ball from side to side. We basically just pretty much played in our first option or second option most of the night. And we didn't get that ball from side to side, making them defend, getting to the third and fourth option, making a read to what they were doing. They were doing a lot of switching. We had some matchups that we didn't see, we didn't recognize. And we have to slow down in situations like that and get the ball to the matchup. We feel we have an advantage. So Trey's going to be fine.
Next question from Eric with The Athletic.
Let's go with another Trey playmaking question. I feel like throughout his career, he's been blessed to have that skip pass as part of his arsenal. He sees it really well. He's seen it really well from a young age. Just what can that do to mess with the defense and give another option to play with that help?
Well, again, that's part of the read. When he comes off of a pick and roll, he has to. It's like a quarterback, reading his options and seeing what the defense is doing and making the right read. You guys have seen Trey do that his entire career, and he had a night where it wasn't connected. That happens. He has to make an adjustment to how they're defending. And, a lot of times that has to happen on the floor, because if he continues to get hot and they're defending one way, they make adjustments, then he has to make that adjustment. And, he's been doing that for us. I'm not concerned about Trey.
All right. Vincent Goodwill.
Hey, I think Trey only drew one foul the other night, and because Drew Holiday is so big and long, and he's allowed to be a little bit more physical than him. Is there a thought to playing him a little bit off the ball just to, trick up the defense a little bit to get Trey on different angles and maybe with a live film?
Absolutely, and that was part of the game plan. And it wasn't so much. We thought they would make some adjustments defensively. And again, we've seen teams pressure Trey, put a bigger guard on Trey, boxing one Trey. So yes, that's part of the plan is to get him off the ball and allow Bogey and Kevin to initiate some offense. We can certainly do that. We didn't do that though, and that was an adjustment that I should have called more plays. To do that, and those guys who are out there with the ball knew that was part of how we wanted to attack if they played that style of defense. And what Drew did was really just picked him up full court. It wasn't denying him the ball, so he could get the ball. But there's some other things that we wanted to do that we didn't do in that game to try to take advantage of their defense.
One more from Joe Varden.
Did Cam do anything to get closer to your rotation?
We're pretty much he's available, but we will pretty much stay with our rotation that we have been playing.
It looks like the only question from Zoom will come from Leonardo Torres from Peru.
Hi, Coach. It's Leonardo Torres from Peru. Hope you're well. Coach, what are the main adjustments you expect from Trey Young and Kevin Huerter for this game 3 against the Bucks?
Take care of the ball. We got to take care of the ball. I mean, it's that's serious. You can't turn the ball over against this team. You can't take quick shots because those shots that you take quick, they are rebounding those and converting those into transition points. So we have to do a better job of taking care of the basketball so that we can get back into transition. Really, our transition defense starts with our offensive execution. If we are making that defense work and we have a balanced floor when we take our shot, we should be able to get back in transition and keep this team in front of us. But if we're turning the ball over or we're taking quick shots and the floor is not balanced, it's really difficult to get back in transition. So for our guards, you mentioned Trey and Kevin, but get us organized, execute better on the offensive end of the floor.
Got another from Charles Odom with the Associated Press.
Nathan Knight took a hard fall late in the last game. How it was? Did he have any problems yesterday after that?
He was getting treated for that, but he seems to be okay.
All right, that was the final question from Zoom. So unless there are any others in the room, we'll call it a day, but I'm here to try to make that call.
We got one in the room, Tim Bonta.
You guys obviously saw a team that's pretty big and visible across the board last year. Watch the guys, some of these guys have big physical guys that can take advantage of that. I think guys, especially in that kind of make up for some of that lag.
You try to do it with speed and aggressiveness because they are big. They seem to keep getting bigger, as we move on. But again, we've seen this type of team, and you have to beat them. You have to outwork them. And I thought in the last game, they beat us to the spot. They outworked us. They were more physical, more aggressive, just really dominated out there in that last game. And, we have to be able to get to that level of play where, they're going to continue to be physical. It's going to be even more physical tonight, because they have a read on how to play us. And we have to respond to that with the same energy and urgency that they're going to bring to the floor tonight, and better execution.